Hey everybody, my name's Cody, and today I'd like to share a realization that came to me through a letter I was writing, and hopefully it'll help somebody else out. So, my dad was a good dad, and he was Arapaho, and raised me as an Arapaho. And during my childhood, I was picked on and discriminated against for being Native American. And so it was kind of rough. And it caused me to have a lot of hate in my heart. And sadness too. So when I grew up, I still held that inside, and it caused, holding on to that caused me to try to cover that with violence and alcohol and other things in my life. And so in this video, I'm going to use the word creator, right? And I don't want anyone to think that I'm just canceling out anybody else's beliefs. That is the word that I use for, like, just like how people say God or Allah or Odin or, you know, all these different words. I believe that there's just a word for a higher power, the creator, right? So just putting that out there. One of the most important things that my dad taught me as a kid was the most valuable information he could have given me was never lose your sense of humor. I didn't know how important that was until later on. And so I grew up and I lost my way on the red road, the good path, right? And I lost myself. I lost my inner child. So I was not a good person. And during my hardest time in life, it was after my dad passed away. And on his deathbed, he told his nurse that Cody is not my real son, right? And died. So that messed with me for a long time. And I went just spiraling down, right? And so years later, I went through a lot more challenging times, and I was put in ugly places, in dark places. I was put in just situations that weren't good, right? And it was because of the way I was living. But in those times, I found something, and this is the whole realization. So I've always heard the term creator has a sense of humor, right? And this ties into my dad's teaching to never lose my sense of humor. Because in these dark times, in these ugly places, it was a way to show me things, right? So Creator put me in these paths, in these dark places, in these ugly places, to show me light and beauty, right? He put me in places where I would experience fear and hate, so then I could find love, compassion, and courage, right? Now, my point of this is that we were all put in situations in our lives, on these roads, through these different obstacles, because it creates the person that we become. Now, even though I was 18 years old, I was not a man. I was a boy. Even to 23, 25, I was a boy. I had not grown up. My belief on a man is, it is not age that defines a man. It is the heart and spirit and the deeds of a man which makes him. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it is my belief. So, I was put through all these times in my life, and I started seeing these things. I started seeing beauty. Like what's behind me. You might just see green. But to me, it's a lot more. If I sit here, I'm able to see the life in everything, the beauty in everything, because it was stripped away from me. I hadn't seen it in so long that I was able to see beauty in the smallest little things. The first thing I remember, it was a flower. And I remember walking, and the first time I saw a flower in a long time, and I looked at it, and inside, I felt it like in my heart, it was like, that's beautiful. And I didn't like using that word before because I saw it as weak, right? And, but I was now seeing beauty. I was now seeing just little things like a sunrise and a sunset, how beautiful they are. How beautiful people can be if they're able to heal. And anyways, so after I had all these realizations and I started learning more about the native culture and learning a little bit of the language and songs, prayers, right? I was put through another challenge. And so because my dad said that on his deathbed, that I wasn't his real son, I started looking into it. And I would ask questions all the time, and I could never get answers. So I went through one of those DNA tests, right? And come to find out, I'm not native at all. Right. And I can laugh at it now. But it's messed with me for a while now. For the last couple months, it threw me off my path. And I was ashamed. I didn't like who I was, right? My whole way of life. I wondered if it was wrong because of who I am. The language that I learned, the sacred things that I learned, if it was wrong, right? But through this letter that I was writing, this realization came to me. And I realized Creator truly does have a sense of humor, right? Because these things were to show me that all these things exist, right? The ugly, the hate, the discrimination, the bullying, all this stuff that I suffered from as a kid for being Native American, which I wasn't. It was all a way to help me understand those things, so I would never do that. Now I'm glad that I've come to terms with that. You know, I am who I am, and that will never change physically, but my spirit can always grow, can always learn. And I think that's the most important thing. So now I have a sense of humor about it. My dad's teachings, they came in handy, and I'll always be grateful for that man. So hopefully this helps people out. You know, if you're ever going through challenging times, just know that you're still here. You've already gone through a bunch of struggles, and you're still here. You didn't give up then. Just don't give up now. Just keep going. And eventually you'll get over that hump. and everything will be good. And guess what? You're gonna hit another hump. It's bound to happen. As people, we hit struggle. And I've heard this saying before, and I really like it. It's, without struggle, there can be no progress. It's true. We can't grow without struggle. As human beings, we adapt and overcome our challenges. That's a beautiful thing. But I'm going to keep this short because I know some of my videos are pretty long. So I hope this helps somebody out. And just remember, stay focused. Stay on that path. Don't lose yourself. Don't let other people lose yourself. Because inside, that's who you truly are. And if you become conflicted with that because you're trying to be somebody that you're truly not, it's going to cause suffering. It's going to cause you to be conflicted inside, and you're not going to be balanced. Trust me, I know. I did that for a long time. So I hope everybody has a beautiful day. And just take some time to enjoy the beauty in life. Try not to focus on all the negative that is around us, because there's a lot. But there's also a lot of beauty, a lot of positive, everywhere you look. Just try to take something out of each day that's positive, and you'll be better off. Have a good day.